Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Now today we're back on the German kind of Festbier series that wasn't really planned, but has kind of materialised thanks to the wife. So today we're on Falter Festbier. Now this is from the Regen area or region of Bavaria, and it's brewed in Regen, and it's, as far as I know, there will be more details down below because do the beer facts, but it's 5.9%, and if I remember rightly, the Plato's percentage of the wort is 13.8, so it's a decent percentage. So hopefully we'll get maybe a little bit more body, a little bit more maltiness to it. But the thing is, we also need a little bit of hops, hopefully, just to kind of balance it out, but just a little bit of bitterness, hopefully there is. But from what I'm led to believe, with my initial kind of background checks, it is quite lightly hopped as well, so like a lot of German beers. So I don't know if that's a woman or a little boy. I don't know, but the little kind of icon type thing at the bottom looks a bit kind of dodgy. Anything in the back? Nothing really. But yes, it's another kind of festival beer that's brewed for the kind of local festivals. What I have found out about it is that they do sell it in different kind of litre wooden kegs, so you can get it in a 10-litre wooden keg, a 20 or 30, up to a 40-litre wooden keg, and it seems to be very popular for people to buy. They do it for, obviously, festivals, but they also do it for people having their own kind of private parties as well, so they can buy, like, say, a 10-litre or a 20-litre keg and have a right good night of it. So that's quite a good thing, and I like that idea. I think at the end of the day, if you can buy it in bulk and it's affordable and it's drinkable, then well, what can go wrong? Coming from Scotland, usually quite a lot. But yeah, let's get this poured and see what it's like. I'm going to try and kind of shorten my videos a little bit because I've been dragging on. I mean, seriously, it gets turning into a bit of a saga, some of them. I did one there that was edited, and I never actually looked to see how long it was, and then uploaded it, and then I was looking at it thinking, "Fuck, that's 40 minutes. I thought it was roughly about 20 minutes." And I'm like, geez, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. But what I'm planning to do is I'm going to do a little different series as well coming up, because obviously we're now in kind of mid-October. I want to start looking at, see what the kind of beer offerings are for people for the kind of best options. So what I'm going to do these are going to be beer shorts on YouTube. So they'll be on my channel, but they're going to be done as beer shorts, so usually 1 or 2 minute videos. And what I'm going to look at is looking at the major supermarkets to see what beers are easily available, what the kind of prices, do a quick review of them, and then it gives people a kind of idea of what's readily available round about the supermarkets for the kind of festive period, and the kind of pricing, and well, I'll give them my judgment of how good or bad they are, and we'll see where we go with that. And yeah, hopefully it'll just give them some useful information, and again I'll just give them some little facts as well. So again, only be maximum 1, 2, maybe 3 minutes, and it just me thinking a beer and thinking, it's shit, or it's marvellous, that type of thing. So for people on the podcast, it's a nice, very clear beer, and it was maybe about one, just slightly over 1 finger head. Smell wise, yeah, I'm getting grain, getting a little bit of salsa, light malt, and that's really it. Not really getting anything else. Back in again. Get the glasses. I don't know why my glasses keep sliding down. Got nose on like a ski slope. But yeah, no, I'm not really getting any hops, which isn't a surprise, that being a German beer. But let's see what it tastes like. Ah, right. Ah. This has a little bit of bitterness, just a little bit. So it has. And it has quite a slight acidity to it as well. So I'm getting that kind of salsa flavour into it. So yes. So yeah, getting a little bit of spicy notes. Very light. But yeah, get not a bad malt, not a bad body for a lager. But I'm getting that little bit of ever so slight bitter accents. And it just makes the finish just that little bit nicer. And just kind of balances out the kind of malt. And yeah. Dare I say it, that the ones we've done so far, I would say for me, and what I look at a beer, especially in a kind of lager, this is the nicest. This is the best. So, ooh. So yeah, let's kind of break down the flavours. I mean, it's easy to drink as well. It's just that. It's just right on the cusp with the carbonation. It's carbonated enough just to be lively and lager-esque, but not just just over that line where it just becomes it just really starts to affect the mouthfeel. So it's just nice. It's just right in that border where they've got the carbonation just almost spot on. So yeah. Right. Starts off with some nice malt, some nice grain, and a nice light sweetness. But it works well with the grain and with the malt at the front of the mouth. It's just actually quite nice. Now, it's not a big bang kind of front of the mouth kind of reaction, but it is a nice introduction. It's a nice clean doormat, as I say. So you move on to the kind of the mid-tongue. The sweetness dies down a little bit. You've still got the malt, still got the grain, but you're starting ever so slightly get these little kind of bitter accents. But along with that, you're just starting to get that little bit of acidity coming through as well. So you get a little bit of kind of almost kind of tomato salsa kind of vibes in the mid-tongue. And it just makes it a bit more interesting. And again, it just starts to balance everything out. So you've got a little bit of extra sweetness at the front of the mouth, which is going to slightly die down in the mid-tongue. But you have these little light bitter accents just there, just taking that little bit of edge off it, and it just kind of balances it out. And then you move on to the aftertaste. And yeah, but the aftertaste is, you just get a little bit more of the bitterness, but you've still got a bit of sweetness there, and you've still got the malty flavours and the grains, and they're all kind of quite happy there together in the aftertaste. And then the malt and the grain start to kind of dissipate, and you're just left with a little bit of acidity, a little bit of sweetness, and these little kind of bitter accents, and again they just slightly just kind of dissipate off together, and actually it's quite a nice finish to it. And overall, out of all the beers that we've done, I think we did 3 of them so far, this being the 3rd. Yes, because we did Hothenthaler, and we also did what's that? Erlkönig. And yes, out of the 3, this seems to be nicer, better balance to it. And even though it is slightly hopped, it's hopped enough with the right hops just to give that little bit of bitterness, and it does make a heck of a difference. It does make a heck of a difference to it. So it does, compared to the other two. The other two, especially the last one. The last one was a bit disappointing. I mean, there was plenty of malt flavour there, but there was just nothing there to counteract it. And it was just, yeah, it was very kind of one-dimensional. But yeah, and you can see it's now kind of nice, kind of lively beer. And it's very easy to drink, with a little bit of spiciness there in the mid, and a little bit just going along with that kind of tomato salsa kind of feeling, that kind of experience. Not so much of a flavour, but more of a part of the mouthfeel. So as you get a little kind of accents of kind of tomato salsa, but it's really kind of down to kind of a slightly acidic kind of feel to the mouth from the beer. And yeah, I actually quite like this one. So I do. But what would I give this out of 10? There's a question. Now, out of 10, what would I give it? For a German lager, what would I give this? For a German lager, because this is what I'm basing it on. Obviously, it's a case of lagers in general. From if I was just reviewing it as a beer, would be a bit lower down the scale because I prefer ales to lagers, and I'll be totally honest. I don't really look at the lager section. A lot of times, I'll just look at the ale section, and try and avoid the gaudy coloured cans while I'm doing it. Because they got the bloody cheek starting to put them blooming craft beer nonsense cans near the kind of traditional beers, and all it just off-putting. So it is, all this bloody citrus piss. I mean, I start to wonder about craft breweries. Do they only have 3 letters in their alphabet? Because all they seem to be doing is IPA. I mean, it's sometimes they just well, let's repeat some of the letters. Let's do an APA. But yeah, in general, that's all they can really spell is IPA. Something about 3 letters, because they can only do IPA, and sometimes they do ale, ALEE. I think, oh, you're pushing the boat now, aren't you, boys? Eh? Oh, you're showing your intelligence and your variety. But yeah, so as I was saying, I tend to go for the ales, and I always look at the ales first before I look at anything else. And I'll be totally honest, a lot of times I don't even look at the lager section. So that's why I'm treating it as a kind of lager scale. And I'm not, well, I suppose I could compare it more to a kind of Czech beer. This has a bit more bitterness to it. I think this is kind of stand up better to a Czech beer than to quite a lot of the German lagers. But again, it doesn't have the level of bitterness that you would get from a Czech lager, but it does have obviously a bit more bitterness to it than previous Festbiers we've tried. But yeah, so looking at it as a German kind of Festbier stroke lager, I'm going to give this a 7.5 because it's got a nice mouthfeel, nice flavours, nice bit of balance with the bitterness and the malty sweetness. And yeah, it's got a decent bit of body for a lager, remember. For a lager. I mean, we're not comparing it to an ale, because an ale would just wipe it off the face of the earth for basically body and everything else. Let's be totally honest. So it's not fair to kind of compare these types of kind of beers, because it's just daft, because they are very different from that kind of flavour and beer profile point of view. So yeah, I'm going to give this a 7.5 out of 10 for a kind of German lager. It's a nice one. I would recommend it. Never mind as a Festbier, but just as a general lager, it's quite a nice beer actually. And I can see why they're selling it in wooden casks. because I can imagine that they would probably, just the way it tastes and everything. Well, from my point of view, I can understand that they would probably sell quite a shed load. And if people are buying it in bulk, then it's a lot easier to do it in a cask than it would be in bottles and all that nonsense. And better for the environment if you're that way inclined. But yeah, so it's a 7.5 out of 10. It's a 5.9%. It's a Plato scale of 13.8% on this version. And yeah, very drinkable, but some nice flavours and a nice kind of balance to it. So, thanks for watching. Cheers, and bye for now.